Alright guys, it's Saul Bones, Simple Man's brother. I've not even started it. Morgan, when you watch this, you may want to ask him, the front bar stud on it was loose. It kind of fell back in the tank. Some bar oil had leaked out during the shipment. I don't know if it was done during the shipment or was that way before. And the chain brake is super touchy. If you touch it at all, it just activates. And just, you know, I'll probably talk to you and see if he wants me just to take that mess out of the cover, because I guess it's just wore out. But I've not even started this thing. It's a 61 bone stock. Looks like a pretty low air saw. As you can see, I don't have a lot of room on this cut, so I'll do one test cut, and then once I get it ported, we'll dial it in on some of that stuff, and hopefully we can get one more out of this. But you know, we'll just have to see. It is damn near dark. Camera's not really showing it, making it look lighter than it is, but we'll just have to see. Cold start. I've not touched this saw. Has good compression. Okay guys, back in the shop. Saw ran pretty good. Had a good clean 4-stroke out of the cut, cleared up in the cut. That chain brake handle, that thing popped back, mashed the shit out of my finger about 3/4 way down the log. I'll talk to Simple Man a day or two and see if they want me to do something with that. About what I could recommend is just pull the band out of it and forget about it. I think it's just, you know, worn out, or it's been dropped or something, who knows. But that thing's like hair triggered. It's crazy. But with that said, we've done pulled the cylinder, pulled the base gasket, cleaned everything up to where we could get a good accurate reading. Really late exhaust opening, and you know, this is without a gasket. With the gasket, it would have been a little earlier. 107 degrees. I generally don't like grinding on the roof of exhaust ports, and I know that sounds ass backwards, but it's just my deal. We may discuss it in a little bit while we're cutting, but I want to try to get this out without running anyone off. Transfers 125. That's pretty good. I don't know that I'll even mess with them at all. There's just not a lot you can do with them. If anything, we'll play with the angle a little bit on them, but open port design, they're pretty opened up anyway, so there's not a whole hell of a lot we can do with them, but we'll work them a little bit. Intake port, really lazy, and you know, this is why you should put a wheel on a saw. I'm just not a believer of going in and just blindly hacking up the roof of the exhaust port and the floor of the intake. If you're just doing a clean up and widening the ports and opening up your lowers, by all means, you don't need a wheel. You can make a saw run damn good without a degree wheel, but if you're changing port time and duration, you damn well better put a wheel on it. But she's opening at 67 degrees. I don't have to explain to you guys, on a more modern saw like this, that's really lazy. If it was a Mac, you know, would it be? No, but, you know, we're not porting a Mac here. We're porting a Husqvarna 61. I'd kind of like to see that opening around 75 degrees. That'd give us 150 degrees of duration. It'd be great. We'd pick up some RPM on the cut. Thing may even start a little easier than it was before. That's a good safe number. So I guess what I'm going to shoot for here is 150 degrees of duration on each port. We may pull the exhaust port on to 104 degrees, hit that 152, but I don't know. We'll probably try 105. And this thing's so simple to pull apart. If I don't like it or it don't make the gains I think it's going to gain, we can always pull it back down. But I know some people are going to say, take it to 99, take it to 100. I'm not going to neuter this man's saw. This is work saw, and in my opinion, if you can't go in and cut that squish band 30 or 40 thousandths and then pull that same 30 or 40 thou off of your base, you have no business going in and cutting 30 or 40 thou out of the roof of the exhaust port. And just getting your squish set at 20 thousandths ain't gonna do it enough. Moving from 40 to 20 thousandths, you pick up very little compression at all. But when you go to decreasing the size of the combustion chamber and getting that band good and flat, you go to making some really good static compression then. And contrary to belief, static compression is king on anything. You need to look at this damn thing like it's a diesel. Hell, some of the old Detroit diesels were even two-stroke engines. The more fuel and air we can shove into that, and the tighter we can get that bang to be and get it in and out of the engine as smoothly and quickly as possible, the more power we're going to make. And you don't have to do that by raising the roof on the exhaust port. You can get the same damn gains from widening the port and not lose a bit of torque in the cut. But with that said, that's about my little rant on port theory. I'm going to get this thing yanked off and we're going to go to doing some porting on it. Look at the cylinder beforehand. I would video a bunch of port work, but this battery's dang near dead on this thing. As you can see, we cleaned everything up. She's an open port design. Not a lot I'm going to be able to do with them. Same with the intake. This weird design, but it works. Not a lot you can do with it. Exhaust port, we'll do what we can with it. And, you know, I'll give you guys a look at what I come up with when we're done. We'll video a little bit. Guys, grind a little bit at a time. It doesn't take a lot. Really, it don't. This is a pretty aggressive cutter. Does a real nice job. I can go right back into the cartridge roll behind it. You can see we got metal all in there. I'll do a little more off camera as this thing's about dead, but I figured I'd show you a little bit, you know. Just give you a look at what we've done already on the exhaust port. Honestly, I'll probably do a cleanup with cartridge roll, and I'll about guarantee you the timing's going to be right in the ballpark of where I want it to be. Next, I'm going to do the same to the intake floor, but we're going to pull probably 2 to 3 times that amount of material out of it. kind of beating a dead horse here, or maybe a live one. I don't know. One of you fellas, I know you still watch me because you're throwing little hints and shit at me all the time. Used to be all in my comments, but it seems like once these guys get a big, huge following, you know, they're like the hell with the other guy that they don't agree with. But whatever, to each their own. I still watch your stuff. Whatever, it's pure entertainment, to be honest with you. He said that too smooth of an intake, port, and transfers, in his experience, would cause poor throttle response. The saw would be sluggish. Well, hell, the engineers at Molly, you may want to look up the company Molly. I don't have to explain it, but they make the pistons that's in NASCARs and NHRA drag cars, and all the pistons and cylinders on most of these saws we all love and enjoy. But look at the finish on that. If I can get the light on it good, that shit is damn near mirror finish. And you guys have run these saws, you seen how this one performed. Hell, the plating on the cylinders, what's in the damn transfers, slick as a piece of glass. Yeah, and that's why I don't leave anything rough. I've had my hands on really, really high-end cylinder heads for cars. Intakes ain't rough on them, but whatever, to each their own. You guys just keep preaching that shit, and those of us that know better will just sit here and keep grinning. But anyway, just a little rant. This is about pointless, the video. There's no way of getting that to where you can see me grinding on that floor. Again, just a little bit at a time, but I've done so many, I about know how much I can safely cut. Have I messed up and cut too much? Hell yeah, I have. You better believe it. And if you do enough, you will. I did switch cutters to one that's a little more aggressive. Oh, it's cutting nice. I'm going to show this mainly just for one of you old bastards. I do not use sandpaper as a cartridge roll. Its intention is for porting cylinder heads or intake manifolds, throttle bodies, or hell, one of these damn chainsaw cylinders. But I'm just going to keep with the intake because that's where we were at. I put it back on, timing's going to be right where I want it to be just from a cleanup here. And by the time I clean up and polish the exhaust port, it'll be set right where we wanted it. But yeah, we did not go in with fucking sandpaper. And you'll have to pardon my French. I'm getting to where I just really don't care here lately. Just so much just idiocy out there, I guess. But whatever, to each their own, I guess. But that's what's wrong with the world. You can't give your opinion about anyone else without somebody being a damn crybaby. And, you know, we may as well just get used to it because it looks like that's the way things are going to be. Give your opinion about something or someone, you're a damn terrorist, I guess. But whatever, it is what it is. You guys get the idea. Let's see. That's the finish that leaves. I think that's a 120 cartridge. I think I'm out of the rougher one, so I'm going to have to make an order from Summit Racing. Cheapest place I've found to buy them. Real nice finish. It's actually got a little more Hell factory. It had no texture. It was like about a mirror finish on it, but We'll have a little texture on it. It really won't matter, but it's damn sure not going to be rough. Right now I'm blending back in what I done, trying to knock what bit of carbon was still in there left. And I'm thinking Morgan told me we're going to end up with 2 more of these saws came up here. One of them we'd already done. I'm thinking it had some kind of mechanical problem. He's not for sure, but I'm thinking he said his other brother wanted to send that saw up here, and seemed like he may have bought another one that he's wanting ported. You can chatter with these cartridge rolls just like a bird. You fellers get the idea. I'm gonna finish this poured up and I'll bring you back when it's ready to polish, but I am gonna widen it the least little bit. I don't really go crazy with that, but a little bit goes a long way on widening ports. Just another one of those deals, but you can put your piston in, measure, make marks, but you know, I widen them at least a little bit, play with the angle on them, and if they're square-sided, I'll usually turn them to oval. And, well, you guys, most of you have watched my porting over the last little bit. Yeah, you kind of get the general idea of what I do anyway. Okay, so I've got my slotted mandrel, some 80 grit paper. I'm just gonna go ahead and lay it on this intake some. I'll give you guys a look at it, then we'll move to the exhaust port. And I did work the transfers a little. We'll show that, but all this is a mandrel with a slot in it. You know, if you've got a Dremel, I've heard of guys even taking like a cotter pin, and cutting down and putting in the Dremel, or you could probably just take one of the old ends off of an old grinding stone or something. Take your death wheel and cut a slot in it, be the same damn thing. And this just gets, it knocks down any imperfections. Leaves a really, really nice finish. It is still textured. I'll show you once we get done. But as you've seen, the factory finish on it is down there near the finish, and anybody that's ran one of these knows how well they run. If you have a good sound one, though, if you've got some old wore out piece of shit that needs rebuilt, you know, I think in a lot of cases it's what guys get a hold of and then they'll throw off on a saw. Kind of like the Mac 1010 versus the Pro Mac. I have video proving that an old junky looking Mac 1010 just handed a Pro Mac 1010 its ass. I think a lot of it has to do with it just has a better airbox design, has a lighter flywheel, and even ported versus ported, the Mac 1010 still wins usually. Give you fellers a look at this, or ladies, whoever's watching. I think we lost some female subscribers. They probably didn't like my language. I think it still shows we have a few though. Real nice finish on that. I'll probably get the video camera. It is textured. If you'll go to the CC Specialties YouTube channel, they've not uploaded in a decade or something, but there's a lot of good information there. That's where you buy these Fordham kits, or the actual porting kits. I think the dude's name's TJ. I'm not for sure. He shows how he had like a blaster cylinder and had the intake poured on it. He shows just overly polished. He shows just taking a cartridge roll, the tip of it, and going in and laying just a light texture on that port. And to keep fuel in suspension and from puddling, that is all you need. You know, once you go to getting really, really rough, you're going to start creating turbulence, and, you know, you just don't want that in this engine. May as well hit the exhaust port a little bit. I worked my way up to 2,000 grit on this. And honestly, when you go into the inside of this port, like you hear me doing there, that will actually knock a lot of the sharp edge off, make transferring very, very easy. Everybody has their own way of doing that, but I think most of us end with piece of sandpaper in our hands. I don't go in with a diamond ball. I have my own way of doing it, and it's always worked. My hands are not steady enough to take a diamond ball around the edge of a port with the right angle. But that probably is the best way to do it, but I have my own way of doing it. The cartridge roll and the sandpaper. And knock on wood, it's so far so good, and I've done a lot of them saws. You kind of lose count after you've done, you know, 50 or 60 or so, I guess, and you just stop worrying about it. I usually just show the ones that are mine and, you know, what belongs to a subscriber or something, but we've ported and moved a lot of saws over the years, over the last 5 or 6 years, I guess. That's not bad. We'll hit that with some, I'll step up the finer paper, and, you know, we'll lay some sandpaper to the inside of her ports, make sure no rings or anything's gonna hang up, and we'll give you a final look, and then, you know, the next thing you'll see is this jewel running. Alright guys, after we worked the transfers a little bit, there's like a little lip here at the bottom I didn't like. We kind of pulled that back and blended it in. May help, may not. I did play with the angle a little bit, but I did not change the timing at all. We may show that some more in another video, or may not. I don't want to give out every little thing that I do. Intake port, kept with the same factory shape on that. This made everything a little bigger and a little wider, and, you know, we lowered our floor quite a bit. Not real bad, but we hit our timing number right where we wanted, and I'll give the final timing numbers once I get it back together. You can see that slotted mandrel. You don't have to do that. You can stay with the cartridge roll. You can even stay with the finish of your carbide cutter, you know, as long as it's not an Alumahog and leaving a mess in there. But I kind of like a smoother texture, but, you know, to each their own. I showed the port beforehand, and, you know, it was damn near mirror finish polish, and, you know, these saws run amazing right out of the box, so that kind of kicks some of you guys' theories plumb out the window. Exhaust port, look at that polish, damn near mirror finish. I did work up to 2,000 grit on that. And, you know, I'll use WD-40 or the knockoff Walmart brand of it, and some wet dry paper. Does a really, really good job. And again, that's on the slotted mandrel. I'm not doing that by hand, but I have done it by hand. Didn't go crazy. Port's wider, has more of an oval shape to it. Moved the timing a little bit. Just what little we needed. It's actually about back to where it would have been with the base gasket. Again, not going to make sense to some of you guys, but the proof's in the pudding. I'll show you how the saw runs next. What we done for a muffler mod, there's some fins here, just kind of bent those down. Then we fish gilled it and just put us another port in the muffler. These things are pretty straight through anyway, but I felt on this one it may need just a little bit more, so yeah, that's what we came up with. Just quick, simple, and dirty muffler mod. Alright guys, as you can see, she's around 165. Had 152 in the start, so doing the base gasket leak and moving the exhaust timing back 2 degrees, we still gained compression. So, you know, this saw should run really well. We're about to bar it up, go dial it in on some of the smaller wood, and then we'll get it set back in that piece of hickory to see what kind of results we have. But I can already tell the saw's a lot snappier. Started really easy, so and you can just feel that it has more compression in the rope. So, you know, I think we're really going to like the results here. Alright fellas, she seems pretty mean. Right here will be the test. Again, there's my hand, so you can figure probably 18 inches left on it or so, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm not going to measure it, but she's probably 20 inches from the bottom to the top. I've dialed it in on some of this hemlock. There wasn't really a lot of dialing into. I barely moved anything, but she seems a lot crisper and has picked up a lot of RPM, it seems like. But anyway, quit running my mouth and we'll let the saw do the talking, I suppose. Too shabby. I know it's stronger. I don't know how much stronger, but it's starting to rain. We may come back out in a little bit and put it in some of the smaller wood and put a little more run time on it. I oiled up that chain brake and cleaned it up. It's a lot better, but it's still a little annoying. Morgan, I believe he'll really like this saw. I really like it. Get her cleaned back up, and I'd say she's ready to ship back down your way in the morning.